Hello everyone, welcome back to Amherst, the exclusive Block of the Month program from Connecting Threads. I'm Adam Ratliff, aka Adam So Fun, and I'm here to share a tip or or whatever. It is a gadget. It's a gadget that I love. I got introduced to this back when I was doing my first Block of the Month with Connecting Threads and we were doing Open Skies. I'm getting ready to make block number 8. Yes, I know it's month 1. I'm behind. It's okay. I can catch up. So if you're behind too, don't even worry about it because we're all here to help and support you. We'll cheer you on. But this block is a bunch of quarter square triangles. Half square triangles are my nemesis. I don't know what it is about them, but I seem to always they're never correct and this and that. So what I have found is, one, I found these Bloc-Loc rulers. This is a Bloc-Loc. Connecting Threads has them. They're a set of 3. Check them out. They are life-changing. Not many things are life-changing. These are life-changing. How they work is they're a regular ruler. So this is a square 4x4. You get a 6x6 and a 2x2. One of the nice things is that you can use them for anything that is 6.5 or less to square up. So even though this is a 4.5 and the bigger one is a 6.5, I can still square up 5.25 if I want because I have markings on this. So it's every inch, every quarter inch, every half inch, and every 1/8 of an inch. So the nice thing and what's unique about the Bloc-Loc is this etched out section here. I'll show you up close. But this etched out section will actually hold your seam in place. So how these work is if you have your block, you slide it up, it's gonna lock itself on that seam and you can just square up, cut around. So these are fantastic. Like I said, I found out about them with the Open Skies Block of the Month. This 2.5 inch square, oh my gosh, it was like in my hand all the time because we have a ton of 2.5 inch square blocks to trim up. So with most rulers, this is a 3.5 inch square. When you try to trim up or square up a half square triangle, there's so much bulk right in the center that it kind of teeter-totters, right? So that's what this etched section in the Bloc-Loc is about. It's gonna lay flat because all that extra fabric is gonna sit here right in the seam. So let me get to piecing and I will show you this up close. All right, so here are the 3 sizes: 6.5, 4.5, 2.5. And as you can see the groove that kind of runs down the center. It's etched in and that's where things are gonna sit. So my first step is I have to make my blocks. So I'm marking the centers as usual and just gonna stitch this. We'll see you when we start to cut. All right, so I've already trimmed and pressed. I have my half square triangles and some extra threads because I'm a quilter. So per the directions, I'm gonna trim these up and I think we trim them at 4 7/8. So this is 4.5, so this one's not gonna work. I'm gonna grab my 6.5, and this is exactly what I was talking about earlier. I'm gonna be able to use the markings at 4 7/8, so here, to make this cut. Now, this etched section, there is a right and a wrong side. So if I put this here and if I slide it, that diagonal line is going corner to corner. You wanna make sure that that is correct. If I turn this ruler around and slide up, and lock it. See how this is not the corner? This is not the correct way, but you're gonna be trimming, so you're gonna notice that because then you're gonna say, well, that's like 1/4 inch off. So make sure you're sliding on and locking and correctly. I'm gonna slide it that way so I can cut a little bit easier around the camera. So I'm sliding and locking. You see the block start move. It's not gonna move until I lock in. And I can see my 4 7/8, and I'm not the best piecer in the world, so it might not be perfect, which is one of the reasons I have issues with half square triangles. Holding my ruler, and we'll cut and cut. Now I can turn it around. I turned my block around. I have to turn my ruler around because remember, it's locks in one side. Line up my sides, 4 7/8, 4 7/8. And now I can trim these sides. And now I have my perfectly sized ruler. When I make half square triangles, I often will cut them bigger than needed. Like, so if it says cut it, let's say it said cut it 4 7/8, I'm gonna cut it 5. I wanna be able to trim these up because I know my weaknesses, and this is one of my weaknesses. So here we go. If you're a perfect piecer, You don't even need, if you're a perfect piecer, all of these should be coming out all perfect when you press it and everything, because how the pattern is written, the math is correct. So let's see. There we are. There we are. And trim and trim. So now I have my pieces done. These get put together and we go and sew them again per the instructions. You're going to get your quarter square triangle block. We can use this on the quarter square triangle block as well. This time we're trimming at 4.5. I happen to have a 4.5 inch ruler. The thing you have to be careful about is look at these seams. There's one seam here that goes across the whole thing. The other two are going opposite directions because these were what you pressed first. So if I try, I'm going to do this wrong, if I try to lock into this, this seam has a place where it would lock, but this one doesn't. So I can lock into half of it. Oops. I can lock into half of it, but the other side isn't locked. It's not going to work because that's not the seam I'm looking for. I need the seam that's going the full length of my block. Pop my Bloc-Loc on. Line it up, and this will just cut my full square because it needs to be, oops, it's like something seemed off. I want to make sure my corners are on those seams. There we go. And now I can trim. And if you had a turning mat, oh, that would be perfect for this. I'm going to turn my ruler around, line up my bottoms because I trimmed those. And now I have my quarter square triangle block. And I've already done 4 of these. I need to make 1 more out of this. We're going to have an extra quarter square triangle block, and I'll put it together and finish this block. So there you have it. Thank you for watching. We'll see you in the next one.